So System Shock 2 is one such title that I've been playing around with right now, as someone who never played much of these games before when they initially released, and had more experience with the BioShock titles. For me, it's kinda cool getting to see where essentially BioShock got its start, and then getting exposed to something like System Shock, because in many ways they just don't make them like they used to. Remasters of older games are very important for several reasons, and for that I'm very happy that we have a company like Night Dive making great efforts to keep older titles alive and fresh, and in some ways even enhanced. Well, with the System Shock 2 remaster, and a really cool feature is now added on to the game, is that you can play the entire campaign in co-op online. Well, that completely changes the entire thing.
Health low.
Potential threat detected.
So playing this game is delightful in single player, but I wanted to take the opportunity to then play the game with a friend or two. Well, I sat down recently to do just that, and what a different experience it was. When going through this on solo, you have this feeling of being alone, searching that space station, many times not really knowing where you need to go, but now when you have a friend, there is this natural teamwork aspect that's really cool, considering the game sort of allows you to then have many different builds with your stats and skills. Co-op is something that honestly feels more natural than just this add-on kind of a thing. Something that feels like honestly experiencing the same thing but in a completely new way. It changes the dynamic of the gameplay. You are not alone. You're with friends, all trying to figure it out together, getting lost together, and in that player discovery and sense of satisfaction is now felt on a group level. This feels like a delightful experiment, like an enhanced mod brought to life, brought to an old favorite that you once knew. It only furthers the entertainment value of the entire package, along with also showing that this type of older design, we just don't get much of this nowadays from the big budget space. We used to get stuff like this, but mainly we need to look to indies and the AA to sort of come to our rescue and keep these aspects of games alive. I don't know about you, but stuff like this, well, I don't need it in every game. Having a more hands-off nature, providing that rewarding exploration and discovery to the player, well, it can just make it feel a bit more unique at times. And here, System Shock both shows and reminds us of all of that, and with co-op on top of it too.
Do not waste time patting yourself on the back. Get down to that shaft to engineering and reset the primary reactor core. That will restore power to the elevator and you'll be able to get up to deck 4. Get going.
When starting up either of the System Shock games, I really enjoyed that it has this sense of horror and that feeling of isolation in a way. I am alone on this space station. Most things are trying to kill me. What is the best avenue to search? Where should I go? Where will this path lead? Again, all really interesting elements, and when you're alone, you don't really have anyone to bounce stuff off of. Whether that is you trying to just put things together, or even figure out an area, or a puzzle or environment. Now some of this stuff kind of gets flipped a bit. For one, that sense of isolation is then shared while in co-op. You're not alone anymore, you're chatting with a friend. So in that way, that sense of horror in the very same game is not as strong as it was in single player. But now you have a partner to really try stuff out with, suggest stuff, and even figure it out all together. To clarify too, it isn't that System Shock 2 is now better in one mode over another. It's different and provides two avenues to experience the same game. Other unique elements that I have seen so far is how you can choose to build your own character. Maybe one player chooses to be more of a combat-focused person, and the other focuses more on skills that allow for more options to explore. Maybe one is more of a hacker, another focuses on their abilities or something else entirely. Again, the build diversity is interesting and rewarding here. Combine co-op and now things get really interesting.
Radiation hazard.
So circling back on how this is a game changer, well, think back to any game you really enjoyed as a kid, something you wished you could actually play through with a friend. Heck, I can even think of many that I wished had this same experience so that I could play it with a buddy. Plenty of great single player games out there that would have benefited from an additional or even modded co-op mode. Playing this here right now with System Shock 2 feels like something like that, so in that sense it adds to that specialness. For those that have not even played this game, go into this one ready to experience something that might even really challenge you. A lot of the game is up to the player and their choices too. For example, I took a completely different direction in co-op than what I did in single player, furthering that it appears System Shock 2 has more of a non-linear like exploration. And that satisfying feeling of discovery in a new area, along with when things circle back on themselves, being like, oh, I remember being here but not from that angle. You get all of that in this game. Pretty much with most of Night Dive's games and releases, it makes me then reflect on the industry as a whole, and it shows us in many ways that we need studios like Night Dive alive and kicking, bringing us specialness like this. Yeah, sure, it may not be a new game, but for many people they are experiencing this game for the first time. For others, they are then re-experiencing an old favorite again. Then, if new additions and enhancements are added on, you can then play it in a new way, like with co-op here. It's here where I cannot wait to see what Night Dive is going to be working on next. Whatever it is, it will probably be something worth paying attention to and then playing. While I have not beaten System Shock 2 Remastered, playing this in single player and then playing it in co-op, and experiencing that side of the game, I can vouch that you're getting a unique and very enjoyable experience. If you are seeking a game that does provide interesting builds and a lot of exploration, then give this game a go, along with the co-op feature where you can do all of this with a friend, or a handful of them. Being able to then share this experience changes the dynamics of the game. You are now trying to work with someone else, and especially if you are both new, like me and my buddy, to this game. Then we were both getting lost and trying to figure it out all together for the first time. Those aha moments were still very satisfying, as now I wasn't just trying to do it by myself, but rather putting two and two together with a friend, making those fun game-related memories too. Older is definitely better in many cases, and this co-op shows a new way to play an old favorite. And for those that are curious, yes, it is fun in single player and in co-op. Give System Shock 2 Remastered a look, especially if you want something more single player oriented or a new co-op game to then try with friends. I would recommend System Shock 2 Remastered. What are your thoughts on all this? Is this your first time with these games, or have you played them before? Have you tried the co-op? Let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in supporting the channel, please check out my Patreon page. For just $1 a month, you can help to keep this channel going strong, and this allows me to be able to do more for my awesome audience. Please check out the links in the description and pinned comment for ways to support the channel. And most of all, thank you very much for watching.